You're watching the New Hampshire Association of Broadcasters' three-time award-winning YCN Game of the Week. The YCN Game of the Week is brought to you by Top Stitch Embroidery, the best for your team, and so much more. MJ Harrington and Company, jewelers and designers since 1948. William A. Smith Auction Gallery. They host 45 auctions yearly. Check the schedule on their website. Lake Sunapee Region VNA and Hospice, providing independence for patients and peace of mind for families. HR Clough and Kearsarge Heating, your local energy specialist, much more than a home heating provider. La Valley Building Supply, 10 retail lumber yards serving New England for over 55 years. Ramonto's Brick Oven Pizza and more, always fresh. People, food, great times await you. Baba's Bar and Grill of Newberry Harbor, where Baba wants you to know we're having a lot of fun. And Echo Communications, a digitally integrated commercial printer and mailer located in New London, New Hampshire.
Good evening and welcome to Lebanon, New Hampshire for tonight's high school boys basketball game between the Hanover Marauders and the Lebanon Raiders. Hello everyone, I'm Jeremy Stout. I will be joined later by exciting doubleheader in store for you this evening. First, the boys will tip it off shortly and the girls will conclude on the nightcap as the boys of Lebanon come into this one sitting at 8-1, and the Hanover Marauders sit at 11-0 on top of Division II. And right now, as we are set to almost begin this one, just honoring the on the court here, Keith Maddie, giving a talk collection for a scholarship fund in honor.
Financially fortunate to go to sports camps, and then he also provides a scholarship fund to kids, give kids opportunities to go to college. Where it's actually one of
Tim Wexler Cup, as this is called, and the scholarships go towards Upper Valley students. And we are having the doubleheader as annual, played every year, alternating. Last year in Hanover, Jim Wexler Cup.
As a reminder, it's a school-sanctioned activity. Smoking is not allowed on the grounds of Lebanon High School.
So the Lebanon Raiders and the Hanover Marauders set to tip it off shortly. A little bit of a delay starting this one as the Hanover Marauders come into this one 11-0, sit on top of the standings. Conval as well, 10-0. Bow 10-1 and Lebanon 8-1. We'll take a look at those standings later on. But the Lebanon Raiders, their only loss was to those Bow Falcons. As we mentioned, that was their one loss, Bow. And over on the Hanover side, they have yet to lose this season, but they do have a 15-game losing streak as they are winless in the last 15 regular season games against Lebanon. Lebanon has won 15 straight meetings dating back to January 28, 2012. We're ready for the starting lineups. First for Hanover, number 0, Nolan Gantrish. Number 1, Charlie Adams. Number 2, Jai White. We've seen Jai White. He's a force inside. Charlie Adams, he can shoot as well as Gantrish. And number 5, Hank Pikus. the junior. And rounding out the starting lineup, number 10, Frank Brennan. These Hanover Marauders can really shoot the basketball. They also have an inside presence of White. And now we'll get to the Lebanon Raiders. Sitting at 8-1, looking to defend home court, number 1, Jackson Stone. Number 10, Logan Falzerano. Number 12, senior guard John Willeman. Number 22, Wade Rainey. And rounding out the starting lineup, number 35, Caleb Smith. The Lebanon Raiders coached by Keith Matty, and the head coach for the Hanover Marauders, Tim Winslow. We will take a break for the national anthem, come back with tip-off. After this, you're watching the YCN Game of the Week.
Simple solutions in a challenging world. Let Echo Communications make your life simpler. From the beginning, creating design through the commercial print process and ending with custom mailing, all easily coordinated in one place. Echo Communications provides simple solutions in a challenging world. One place, many solutions. Learn more at echocominc.com.
No matter what season it is, you can always find the best in American and Italian cuisine at Bubba's Bar and Grill in Newbury, New Hampshire. Stop in to enjoy our fresh salads, hearty sandwiches, brick oven pizzas, the award-winning seafood chowder, and a new seasonal menu just right for the cooler months. Dine in or take out. You can check out our full lunch and dinner menus along with daily specials on our website each day as well. Bubba's Bar and Grill, just 2 miles from Mount Sunapee in the beautiful harbor of Newbury, New Hampshire.
William A. Smith Auction Gallery hosts 45 auctions a year. Our customer base is worldwide, and our reputation is for honesty and fairness. Join us for one of our live auctions. Check out the auction schedule on our website. Auction day is lively and fun.
Sold 3,381. Yeah, sold 253. Sold 850 straight away.
We look forward to seeing you on auction day.
At H.R. Clough and Kearsarge Heating, we sell, install, tune, and repair heating and cooling systems and deliver your fuel oil and propane. But we're much more. H.R. Clough installs water conditioning systems to purify your water and add life to your hot water heating system. Now is the perfect time for one of our expert staff to evaluate your needs. For a free estimate, call H.R. Clough today. Over 4 generations of local ownership and dependable service.
Welcome back. 8 minutes on the clock. The teams are on the floor. This crowd is loud, and we are ready for some basketball on a Monday evening. Thanks for joining us. Boys tip it off here momentarily. Girls will follow, and both games should be excellent matchups. Hanover, as we mentioned, 11-0, but they have yet to beat Lebanon in the regular season in the last 15 tries. White and Stone tip it off, and it goes to the Marauders. So we are underway here. Standing room only in Lang Metcalf Gymnasium. Ball into the corner, heavily guarded on the perimeter. As you see there, number 12, Willeman will pressure the ball carrier and then swing it around to Gantrish. He had the hot hand last week when we were in Hanover. Pikus inside. White couldn't handle it. That one's stolen away. Going down, left-handed lay-in, and that's going to be Willeman drawing the contact. He'll go to the free throw line as we take a look here. Beautiful outlet pass up ahead. And going in strong, Galbraith gets called for the foul, or excuse me, Brennan called with a foul. And the first free throw up and good. Willeman starts the scoring. Williman, also a football star, as we see the second one is good. Had a big hand in their defeat in the championship game in the football season down at UNH. So looking to avenge that on the basketball court. Three-point attempt is off the mark, and the rebound, quick outlet pass up ahead to Rainey, and he's going to pull it up. They're going to swing it back around. White gets his hands on the pass and ultimately goes to Adams, who looks to run. He'll go right to the middle into a couple white jerseys, and Charlie Adams with the field goal. Well, we see both these teams really pushing the pace. They are not afraid. Lebanon drawing the contact and sending Williman to the line on their fast break attempt, and then that time Hanover, even in some traffic, Adams doesn't mind to go down. And there's Stone driving baseline, no good. The rebound is going to come down to Gantrish, and then I believe he's going to be fouled as he comes down with the basketball. Foul going against number 35, Caleb Smith, his first, and Lebanon's first foul. Pikus almost loses the handle. Guarded tightly by Rainey. And then driving baseline is Gantrish. He'll kick it out, but not before he's fouled. So that'll be on the floor, though. Foul's going to go against number 12, and that is Williman, his first, and that one's stolen away, getting it up to Williman. He's got Gantrish to beat. He goes up. It's going to say on the floor, foul before the shot, so it'll be Lebanon basketball underneath their own hoop. Wild start to this one, only one field goal. And it was Adams on the fast break, going into the teeth of the defense. The Raiders with two free throws from Williman. Inside there, White on the defensive effort, nicely done there, denying Caleb Smith an easy bucket. And here they come again, the Marauders. Gantrish, he doesn't mind running in to the defense once again. Lebanon taking their time now. We've seen in transition they will run, but when they get their half-court set, they don't mind taking their time. It's Rainey now. Over to Stone. Back to Rainey for three. He'll challenge. A little off the mark. No good, but the offensive rebound to Smith. And they'll reset. 5:25 to play here in quarter number one. 4-2-hour score. Marauders with the lead. That three-pointer is off the mark. Lebanon still without a field goal. Pikus comes up well short, and that'll go back to the Raiders. 5:08 to play here in quarter number one. And Lebanon Raiders only the 2 points. Williman, a couple free throws. And looking to get something going here. The three-point attempt off the mark again. Williman. Wild early. And joining me now, my usual broadcast partner, Scott Quimby. Thanks for getting here.
Yeah, not a problem.
I'm sure it was you're parked probably a mile away.
I'm down by the baseball fields.
And you didn't miss much. Only one field goal two field goals for the Marauders. That's their 4 points. And then Williman, 1 for 1 from the free throw line. So fast-paced game so far, but not a lot of scoring.
I'm sure you've talked about it, but there's certainly quite a crowd here.
Very big crowd, and it's only going to get bigger, I'm sure, as the night goes on. A rebound by White, and the putback. That's a guy we have seen quite a bit.
Yeah, the last time we saw him play, he did a lot of that offensive rebounding, and he's picking up where he left off.
Now the Raiders trying to get into their offense. There we go. They find one underneath for Caleb Smith. And that's their first field goal. They're on the board. 6-4-hour score. Just about halfway through this first quarter. Gantrish driving in. He'll get bumped. And that is going to be, I believe they're going to send him to the line. Not quite sure where they're going to call that one. He wants to go to the line. He's standing there, but
You don't always get what you want.
No, I don't think he's going to get it because they're waving the substitutes in, so that means probably not a shooting foul, and it will not be, but it is the second foul on Caleb Smith. He's got to be careful. He did sit down, driving the lane, and then kicking out to Pikus. Gantrish for three. That was partially blocked. Williman looking for the outlet, but he didn't get the attention. Oh, nice little give and go, and then back inside to Rainey. He'll go to the free throw line and shoot a pair. So Wade Rainey now at the free throw line, down 6-4.
A tight game like this, Jeremy, you expect it to be tight the whole way. Free throws are going to play a huge part. Whichever team can hit a higher percentage probably has a good chance of winning this thing.
Yeah, we've seen both these teams. We've seen the Hanover Marauders have some good free throw shooting, as we see Rainey missing his first one. Last game we were at, Hanover did shoot the free throw very well, and they also had some hot shooting from the outside. That has yet to materialize, so we'll see if that keeps going or if they start hitting some. Second free throw up and good. See some full court pressure here from the Raiders, but easily broken. And then White can't handle the pass, but it's tipped, so it'll stay with the Marauders.
Yeah, good idea forcing it down in there to White. That's where he feasts. Unfortunately, Adams' pass was just a little late, and Lebanon was able to get a hand on it.
Get the ball into White, and then he'll get to Pikus. He'll call out the play, looking for a screen maybe. Instead, swinging it over to Adams, who will drive into the paint. Kick out, and then they'll reset. Adams dumps it off to White, and before the shot, it's going to be a traveling violation. Turnover on the Marauders.
Tough call there, but it looks like they thought Adams took an extra step. It was a great idea. He had his man White wide open underneath, and he would have had an easy layup, maybe an and one.
It's one of those things you don't realize you don't have anybody to go after. He was wide open and just took that extra step, a little excited. Nice ball movement there, trying to go an inside-out game. Tipped away. Looked like maybe Adams got a hand on that one. And we'll stay with Lebanon. 6-5 our score. Hanover still on top. Three-point attempt is up and good, and that's Williman with his first field goal. And the Raiders now on top 8-6.
Yeah, that'd be a great sign to get Williman going, and quick in the transition here. Lebanon steals the ball and gets another good look.
Well, that was what they wanted. Didn't quite get it to go, but the offensive rebound from Stone battled around, and then it goes back to Pikus. Tipped away, and this time it'll be Lebanon basketball.
That's two possessions in a row there that Lebanon gets their hand in the passing lanes in transition and creates turnovers.
And both these teams very fast.
Yes, they like to move, they like to run, particularly, we know Hanover does for sure.
Right.
We saw Leb earlier. They ran a lot in the first half, but not so much in the second half, and here's another steal in transition.
Yeah, Pikus with the steal and his first field goal. Four players now have scored, and that's where Hanover sits 8 points. It's 8-8. Another steal going the other way, and this time it's Adams with a field goal. Hanover leads 10-8.
So that's two steals by Lebanon, followed by two steals from Hanover. I mean, you mentioned they like to move. This is kind of the cost of trying to move this quick.
Right, they both want to move, but it's which team is going to limit the turnovers could be the one standing at the end. We apologize, our scoreboard a little off, but we'll keep you updated on the score. It's Hanover 10 and Lebanon 8 right now. Nice little dump off to Stone. He doesn't have anything, so he kicks it back out. That shot's partially blocked. That was Bertha Savage, and we got a jump ball. It's going to stay with the Raiders.
Yeah, good job getting out on the shooter there. It looked like he might have an open shot off that kick out. Good hustle play to get his hand up and deflect it and basically create that jump ball.
So staying with the Raiders, they trail 10-8, 1:38 to play in the quarter. They do get the inbounds, and then they'll just reset here. Going to be a foul on the play before any shot was taken, so that'll stay with Raider basketball. Foul's going to go against Seltzer, his first, team's fourth. 10 8-hour score. Lebanon for 3, no good. Hanover leading by 2.
That was a good open look by Bates, though.
And a good offensive rebound. They've got all 5 guys outside the perimeter. And passing it back to Bertha Savage. He wasn't paying attention. Stolen away, 2-on-1, but Pikus can't handle it. And Lebanon catches the break. A deep 3. That's a deep one from Galbraith, and he's no good. Here comes Lebanon. And that's going to be a foul.
Pikus with a foul. It was a good hustle play getting back in transition, but definitely bodied him up there.
That is Pikus' second foul, team's 5th. 10 8-hour score. Hanover with the lead. 7 minutes gone by in this first quarter.
You mentioned it on Lebanon's previous possession, though. All 5 guys were standing outside the three-point line, and they were just kind of passing it around. And you saw Hanover kind of just jump one of those passes. You got to have a little bit better movement than that. And fortunately for Lebanon, it didn't cost them too dearly.
Yeah, and then also with the one that Bertha Savage, they passed it right back to him. He wasn't paying attention. That was a turnover as well, as we see Karsten Hansen hit both free throws to tie this game up at 10 apiece inside final minute of quarter number 1. This game is being brought to you in part by William A. Smith Auction Gallery, who hosts 45 auctions yearly, many in their auction house in Plainfield, New Hampshire. Check out their schedule on their website at wsmithauction.com. Yantrish driving, no good, but White's there to clean it up, and he's on the board. He's got 4.
Doing what he does. Nobody on Lebanon was boxing him out. I mean, they made that one easy for White, and if you do that, he's going to make you pay every time.
Hanover back on top, 12-10. Coming up on 20 seconds to play in the quarter. You'd imagine Lebanon would swing it around, take some time, and then start their play, as that's going to be a foul against Seltzer. Good move by Williman to draw the foul.
Yeah, Seltzer was getting a little aggressive there, going for the steal, which you can understand. They've had a lot of success stealing the basketball so far, but he got a little out of control, and he's going to give him some easy free throws here. They're over the limit, aren't they?
No, that was only their 6th foul.
Oh, that was their 6th, okay.
Yeah, so they had put that one up as their 6th, so the next one will get them to 7. So you had the foul to give, but you don't really want to do it that early if you're thinking, hey, let's stop their momentum. So inside 10 seconds to go. See if Lebanon can come up with anything. Williman with the shot, no good, tipped around, and that is going to do it in quarter number 1. The Hanover Marauders lead the Lebanon Raiders 12-10. We'll take a break. You're watching the YCN Game of the Week.
There once was a haunted house. People said they had heard voices, but no one dared to go inside.
There's a place for wood in your backyard. We recommend the Fire Pit. For looks and performance that outlast a wooden deck, make sure your next deck is built with Trex, the world's #1 premium decking brand.
Trex products are available at LaValle Middleton Building Supply. Visit us at lavalleys.com.
I had broken my humerus. I went home in the care of the VNA, and I met a group of women that I'll never forget. All of them were, in a way, just the most therapeutic and totally understanding people I think I've ever met.
Lake Sunapee Region VNA and Hospice is your locally managed nonprofit home health care provider. It's your choice. Ask for us by name when home is where you want to be.
For over 11 years, Bubba's Bar and Grill has been providing hungry patrons with high-quality food and friendly service with a mission of delivering a remarkable experience to every visitor. And Bubba likes to remind you, we're having a lot of fun here. Jeremy Stout, Scott Quimby here in Lebanon. First game of doubleheader. Boys tip it off first after 1 quarter. The Marauders lead the Raiders 12-10. Girls will follow this one. Another one that's going to be a great game. Both those teams right at the top of the standings. Obviously Hanover undefeated. Both Hanover teams undefeated as that 3 falls. It's 15-10 Marauders.
That's a confident look by Charles Adams there. They gave him a a foot of space. He's at the top of the key, and he said, heck with it, I'm taking it, and he drilled it.
We've seen him and Gantris be able to get some nice looks, and when they get going, they're tough to stop. Rainey driving left, doesn't have it there. Here come the Marauders now. They'll take their time on this one, leading by 5, 15-10. Minute gone by here in quarter number 2. Wild scoop shot from Adams, no good. It goes back to the Raiders.
Yeah, it looked like Adams made up his mind he was going to go for that layup right before he started the drive, and they covered it well, and he said, the heck with it, I'm putting it up there and seeing what happens. But it was kind of a wild shot. They could have done better really, really early in the play.
So inside 7 minutes to play here in the second quarter. 15-10 our score. Hanover on top. There's Lebanon, nice little give and go, but Williman can't get his shot to fall. Really struggled. Williman has 5 points to lead the Lebanon players. White almost loses it, and then he does lose it.
See, Lebanon that time, they really took White out of the play. They had 3 bodies around him, and Hanover tried to force it in there anyways, and it didn't work out.
15-10 our score. Leading scorer of the night, Charlie Adams. He's got 7 for the Marauders. Lebanon in a little bit of a scoring drought now. Have yet to score this quarter, and they need to get something going. That three-pointer will do it. Caleb Smith launching from deep.
Yeah, he was right from the top of the key that time, too. I mean, if you're shooting threes, you want the corners and you want there. And if you can get an open shot from any of those spots, you always take it. But Lebanon really struggling to get the ball inside. Obviously, Jai White's probably playing a big part of that, the biggest kid on the floor.
Playing some tight defense, though. At the top of the key, almost getting the steal, and then forcing, I believe, the turnover. Yes, it will be. So nice defense there from Logan Falzerano.
Yeah, he kind of dribbled himself into trouble and tried to kind of kick it out to where he thought his man was, and he wasn't there, unfortunately, and the pass goes out of bounds for another turnover.
And then getting off is Karsten Hansen. It looks like he's going to the locker room. Not really sure what happened there, but Lebanon 15-13, looking to tie it up or take the lead on this one. Deep 3 attempt off the mark. And here come the Marauders.
You can see Williman does like that spot. He shoots it confidently from there.
3-point attempt is up, no good. That's Galbraith. He can't get it. The offensive rebound from Brennan, and there's going to be foul against the Raiders, I believe.
Yeah, that was excellent hustle by Brennan. It didn't look like he had any shot at that rebound at first, and he snuck his way in there and kind of stole it from Lebanon.
That's going to go against Rainey, his first, and the team's 4th. Next foul for Hanover will put Lebanon in the bonus and shooting 1-1. Dumping it inside to White, but he is immediately double teamed, tipped away, and they're going to get the foul on the Raiders.
Tough call there, but a good one. They were trying to prevent White from getting the ball up in the air, and they got him on the arm a little bit.
That foul is going to go against Caleb Smith, already his 3rd foul. Well, you got to imagine he'll sit down for most likely the rest of this half. As White misses his free throw. In the 2 games we've done at Hanover, White has struggled from the free throw line.
He has, and the team's kind of picked up on it in the second half and started hacking him down low and preventing those shots from getting up, which is kind of what we just saw Lebanon do there. So we might see more of that unless White can start consistently hitting free throws.
Second free throw up and rims out. I mean, that was a good look, just missed it. Going down, breakaway, they kick it back out to Calvin Bates.
Great shot by Bates, but a very poor job by Hanover on a missed free throw. You got to get back. I mean, you got to hustle back.
And the three-pointer gives the Raiders the lead 16-15, and then go down the other end, and there'll be a foul against the Raiders. It will be on the floor, so it'll be the 6th foul. Little mishandle there, and then the layup wasn't able to convert. Here's White on the other end, and he gets it to go. He's got 6. 17-16, back and forth here. This time, it's the Hanover Marauders with the 1-point lead.
Both teams that have been running and playing physical, just as you'd expect in a heated rivalry like this. Very entertaining, fast-paced game right now.
Stone, no good from the top of the key. We approach the halfway point of quarter number 2. White looking to set a screen, and then he slips into the paint. We'll see if he's able to do that, as Gantrish is trying to shake his defender, Calvin Bates. Gantrish gets over in the corner. They'll reset back up to Galbraith, who will...
Long possession here, but there's no shot clock. Take your time and try to get the best shot you can.
Here's Adams. He gets it right by Stone and then puts it up. Charlie Adams. He's got 9.
Yeah, they gave him a lane. He found what he wanted to. He kind of lulled him to sleep there with a dribble, and right down the gut, he had a wide open layup. Nicely done by Charlie Adams.
Dribbling inside, really not much of a defense as Calvin Bates is able to get the lay in.
Yeah, Bates didn't have the space Adams did. He kind of made that space himself with his athleticism and gets 2 back for Lebanon.
The timeout on the floor. We'll keep it right here as the Marauders lead 19-18.
This is going to be what we all expected, right? A close back and forth game. Should be this way till the end. 1 loss combined between the 2 teams. We're looking at possibly the 2 best.
No question about it. 3:06 to play here in quarter number 2. And you did mention maybe the 2 best teams. Hanover 11-0, but they have not beaten Lebanon in 15 tries in the regular season. So
I think it's been since 2008, I believe.
In the regular season, sounds about right. I don't have the exact date on their last win, but it's been 15 straight.
But
Lebanon could use a big win tonight.
This is arguably one of the better Hanover teams we've had in those 15 years, though. So, this one should come down to the wire.
Stripped away there, but then Adams is able to get it back. Out of the timeout. Hanover with a 1-point lead. Looking to add to it. Nice tight defense and then forcing the turnover. And on the breakaway and the foul, Bates will go to the free throw line. Calvin Bates couldn't get it to go, but he'll go to the free throw line.
It was a good foul by Galbraith. I mean, it looked like a wide open, easy layup, and Galbraith at least got the foul on him. He's going to make him earn it at the stripe, which is, like I mentioned earlier, going to be very important in the final score of this basketball game.
Galbraith with his first, as that free throw is up and good, and the team's 7th. And you mentioned the free throws. Jai White 0 for 2 for the Marauders. He's the only one who's been to the line, but it's been a different story. This will be the 8th free throw for the Raiders, and they've made 7 of them. The only miss was Wade Rainey. 2019, Raiders back on top. Here's Gantrish driving baseline, and he gets another basket.
Not much resistance there by Lebanon. It just looked like Gantrish outran them all and gave himself an easy layup.
Yeah, I don't know if anyone expected him to go, but he just took it, went baseline, and had an easy lay-in.
He's certainly a very fast player, so I can see why it might catch you off guard.
That three-pointer off the mark. Stone gets his hands on it, but it ultimately gets to Rainey, who puts it back in, his first field goal.
Yeah, Rainey will take that one. The ball just kind of took a fortunate bounce right to him, and there was no defenders around him. Nobody boxing Rainey out, and 2 for Leb.
Lebanon back on top, 22-21. That three-pointer from Pikus is good.
Pikus showing off his range. He's a good 5 feet behind the three-point arc there, shooting an NBA 3.
It's the 3rd deep three-pointer we've seen tonight. 2 from Hanover. And a nice fake and drive, but Williman can't convert.
Both teams are sort of overcorrecting on defense, and they are allowing these open lanes to drive in. They got to be a little careful on that. I mean, there's so much speed in the game right now. It's easy to overcompensate.
Three-pointer from Pikus. He gets his second one. He's got 8 points.
And Pikus is pumping up the away crowd. There's obviously a lot of folks from Hanover here, though.
Not a far drive. They lead 27-22 as we approach the final minute of the first half. And a little strong on that pass. Williman can't handle it. It goes back to the Marauders. Watch our Yankee Chronicle every week on this station at 8:30 p.m. on Thursday and 8 p.m. on Saturday. If you miss any of our local programs on our YCN stations, you can always watch them anytime on our website at ycnnow.com. Adams kicking out to Pikus. They'll take their time as you see the clock approaching 40 seconds for the half. Hanover with a 5-point lead. Pikus is going to go one-on-one. Then he kicks it out. Gantrish with a deep three. No good. Offensive rebound pulled down by Brennan.
We've seen Brennan make some nice plays down low in this game.
And that's going to be a turnover on the Marauders.
It's like the ref wanted to call him with a carry there, I believe.
A little out of control as he started driving to his left. So here come the Raiders now, down 5, 25 seconds to go before the half. You'd think that they'd like to make it their last possession of the first half and limit any answers from the Marauders. And they're going to shoot it. 3-point attempt, no good, but a nice offensive rebound. And the putback by Bates. He'll go to the free throw line.
Yeah, that's a good job banging the boards by Lebanon. Everybody kind of crashed the second the shot went up, and they had 2 guys with chances at getting the rebound.
The New Hampshire Heritage Collection.
And then a second offensive rebound. So nice job there, crashing the boards, and Hanover kind of was content, maybe just kind of staying outside, playing the perimeter, and forgot about playing down low.
So here's Bates. He'll go to the free throw line for the second time. He is now 2 for 3. He has 7 points. 8 seconds to play. As you see the junior forward, Calvin Bates, front rimming, no good. Rebound by Brennan. And here comes Adams. 3 at the end of the first half, no good, but Pikus gets the rebound. Does he get it off? He doesn't make it, so it won't matter. And the halftime score here in Lebanon. The Marauders lead the Raiders 27-22. We'll take a break and come right back. You're watching the YCN Game of the Week.
The New Hampshire Heritage Collection by M.J. Harrington Jewelers is imagined and designed by our craftsmen, inspired by the natural beauty and special places that make New Hampshire extraordinary. The Old Man of the Mountain, Common Loon, Covered Bridge, Sap Bucket, and New Hampshire Lakes collection are tributes to the story of the Granite State, made in America, handcrafted, uniquely yours, from M.J. Harrington Jewelers.
Warner's Main Street Bookends has been your community bookstore since 1998 and voted Yankee Magazine's Editor's Pick Must-See Bookstore. Bookends is a full-service store offering a huge selection of current fiction and nonfiction with children's book selection, toys, and games. Bookends has a huge card selection for all occasions, along with Main Street Marketplace and Gallery in the attached barn. 100% solar, Main Street Bookends of Warner is building your community one book at a time.
Why is it always time for pizza in New England? Because Ramonto's brick oven pizzas are popping up everywhere. With dough made fresh daily and baked in brick ovens, plus pasta, sandwiches, and artisan salads always from fresh ingredients, you're never far from good times and great food at Ramonto's. Ramonto's brick oven pizzas are the locally owned restaurants that make freshness taste so good. Want a piece of the pie? Visit Ramontos.com for franchise opportunities.
William A. Smith Auction Gallery hosts 45 auctions a year. Our customer base is worldwide, and our reputation is for honesty and fairness. Join us for one of our live auctions. Check out the auction schedule on our website. Auction day is lively and fun.
Sold $3,381. Sold $253. Sold $850 straight away.
We look forward to seeing you on auction day.
Welcome back. Lebanon, New Hampshire. Jeremy Stout, Scott Quimby, as we are at halftime of game 1 of the doubleheader between the Lebanon Raiders and the Hanover Marauders. Scott, an exciting first half, back and forth. Hanover just made more shots.
Yeah, I mean, it's incredibly fast-paced, the way these two teams are playing. And not only, I mean, Lebanon has 22 points, 7 came from the free throw line, so they've only put 15 points on the board from the field. They need to start hitting shots. That's a big key. And for both teams, quite frankly, they need to stop turning the ball over. Both teams have had a substantial number of turnovers. Lebanon really kind of started turning the ball over a lot there in that second quarter.
Yeah, only 6 field goals. 6 field goals for the Lebanon Raiders. And on the Hanover Marauders side, it's Henry Pikus with 8. With 6, Nolan Gandrich with 4. We haven't seen Hanover like we've seen. We haven't seen them get those shots and just amazingly start to fall. We did a little bit, some of the threes, but they've been taking advantage of some inside defense.
They're opening up. I mean, Lebanon's certainly playing fast and quick, and they're really trying to rush these the ball handlers and get steals. But when you do that, sometimes you overplay the ball and create some lanes.
Yeah, so let's take a look at the standings as we sit here. You can see on the screen, Hanover leading the division, 11-0, Conval 10-0, Bow 9-1, and Lebanon 8-1, and Lebanon's only loss was to that Bow team. So these teams, top 4, probably going to be, I mean, they're going to get a home court for round 1, probably round 2. We could see these teams somewhere down the road in the playoffs.
Yeah, I mean, these teams are all likely to kind of meet up again at some point in some way or another. Certainly the best 4 teams so far that have played in this division, and Hanover's having an unbelievable season at the top of the standings, and obviously they're leading the game here at halftime against their big rival.
So we're gonna take a look at the schedules here. So we do have those. Hanover, as you mentioned, great season so far. They host Stevens coming up on Wednesday, and then Friday they're at Hollis Brookline. And those two teams might not pose a huge threat, but you don't want to get tripped up. Hollis Brookline, not bad, and it is a road game.
After that, though, when it gets to Kennett, Conval, Pelham, Lebanon, things are really going to get tough for them there. That's a tough 4-game stretch. Kennett's 8-2. Conval obviously undefeated at 10-0. Lebanon, who they're playing now, we know is very tough. And Pelham's had a decent season too at 9-2. So it's a very difficult finish for the season. It's going to be tough for them to go undefeated, that's for sure.
I mean, they may have an easier road. They do go to Kearsarge, who they beat here. But then again, you've got Pelham's in there, who's not easy. It is a home game. Then you go on the road, Laconia and Milford, 2 teams kind of in the middle of the pack a little bit. So you might have a chance to grab a couple wins. And then, of course, like you said, that last game at Hanover, that could be a big one because depending on how it goes, Hanover could still be undefeated.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, it's certainly a possibility. And you didn't even mention the Hollis Brookline team that we talked about with Hanover playing. I mean, this is the whole thing with this division. It's very jumbled and tight at the top of the division. They've probably both played a little bit of a weaker schedule so far, which is kind of padding their records. But I don't see any team going undefeated. I think things are really going to tighten up between particularly these top 4 teams by the end of the season. And, a lot can happen between now and then. Still a lot of season left.
And we will actually be here on March 2nd for that Hollis Brookline game, so that'll be an exciting one as we come down the stretch before the regular season finale. We'll take a break. We'll come back with the second half after this. You're watching the YCN Game of the Week.
William A. Smith Auction Gallery hosts 45 auctions a year. Our customer base is worldwide, and our reputation is for honesty and fairness.
Right there, $5,000, $3,000. I got 2 there, thank you. 20.
Join us for one of our live auctions. Check out the auction schedule on our website. Auction day is lively and fun.
Sold $3,381. Yeah, sold $253. Sold $850 straight away.
We look forward to seeing you on auction day.
No matter what season it is, you can always find the best in American and Italian cuisine at Bubba's Bar and Grill in Newbury, New Hampshire. Stop in to enjoy our fresh salads, hearty sandwiches, brick oven pizzas, the award-winning seafood chowder, and a new seasonal menu just right for the cooler months. Dine in or take out. You can check out our full lunch and dinner menus along with daily specials on our website each day as well. Bubba's Bar and Grill, just 2 miles from Mount Sunapee in the beautiful harbor of Newbury, New Hampshire.
Welcome back. 27-22 at halftime. Jeremy Stout, Scott Quimby. And Scott, we talked about that first half. Both teams really aggressive, sometimes a little sloppy, some, getting to the free throw line were the Raiders. Hanover was making the shots. Some keys to the game for the second half. How does this Lebanon team take off this 5-point deficit and win this game?
Well, honestly, if I'm Lebanon, I'm going to start slowing it down a little bit here in the second half and trying to actually get some good looks. They need to hit some field goals.
Welcome to Yankee Chronicle.
They can't survive at the free throw line the whole game. I mean, that's where they're getting the bulk of their points so far. So Lebanon needs to clean it up on the offensive end, stop turning the ball over, take their time and get some good looks.
And if you're Hanover, really, just keep giving it to Charlie Adams, Nolan Gantrish, get it inside to White, and the big key, as we mentioned, White's got to start hitting some free throws.
Yeah, White definitely needs to hit some free throws. He only had 6 points in the first half, which is low for what we've seen, but Lebanon has done a good job there, kind of swallowing up down low, really getting multiple bodies on him, so it's going to be tough for White, I think, as long as Lebanon.
Has 8 points, as we mentioned. Adams with 1-3, he's got 9. White has the 6 points, the only one at the free throw line, and Gantrish with the 2 points. So if Hanover wants to continue their undefeated season and improve to 12-0 and win for the first time in 16, this will be the 16th try, they are going to need to keep it going here this afternoon. So we'll see if we should take a break here before the second half is ready to tip. And we will come back with the second half on the YCN Game of the Week.
You're watching the New Hampshire Association of Broadcasters' 3-time award-winning YCN Game of the Week. The YCN Game of the Week is brought to you by Top Stitch Embroidery, the best for your team, and so much more. MJ Harrington and Company, jewelers and designers since 1948. William A. Smith Auction Gallery. They host 45 auctions yearly. Check the schedule on their website. Lake Sunapee Region VNA and Hospice, providing independence for patients and peace of mind for families. HR Clough and Kearsarge Heating, your local energy specialist, much more than a home heating provider. La Valley Building Supply, 10 retail lumber yards serving New England for over 55 years. Ramonto's Brick Oven Pizza and more, always fresh. People, food, great times await you. Baba's Bar and Grill of Newbury Harbor, where Baba wants you to know we're having a lot of fun. And Echo Communications, a digitally integrated commercial printer and mailer located in New London, New Hampshire.
Welcome back. Second half just beginning, and Jackson Stone going to the free throw line. So this is what we talk about at halftime. Will Lebanon continue to get to the free throw line and make some shots? That one, no good.
Yeah, I mean, they were a decent 7 of 10 from the free throw line. I mean, if you're hitting your free throws, certainly a good thing to get to the free throw line. And Jackson Stone hits 1 of 2 here.
Stone makes the second free throw, cuts it to a 4-point deficit, 27-23. Now Hanover, who only went to the free throw line for 2 shots, that was White. See if they can get some offense going as they get it into White. That inside out that we've seen so often. White is so good at getting inside. That one's to Gantrish, and then the tip by Pikus, no good. White fighting for it, and the rebound to Smith. Up ahead to Falzerano, and the basket, his first of the night.
Big mistake by Hanover there. Every single one of their players was crashing the boards there, and they completely forgot about the defense if they didn't get the rebound, and it gives them a wide open layup, and Lebanon cuts it to 2.
Gantrish swings it around. Pikus from deep, and he hits another deep 3. His third of the night. He's got 11 points.
He's got quite a touch from outside, doesn't he?
We've seen him before, and he's firing here tonight. Lead back up to 5. There's Stone inside, making a couple moves, a little strong, and Pikus on the other end.
Yeah, Stone had, he turned around and had to try, surprise, White's right there in your face, and he had to try to get it over him, and that wasn't happening.
Pikus thought about it for a minute, and then he thought better of it.
Yeah, a little heat check maybe he was thinking.
White driving inside, and that's going to be a foul, though, on White, I believe, on the offensive move.
I didn't see what happened there, but a lot of times when you get a call there, maybe he hooked him with his off arm there and kind of pushed his man out of the way. It's pure speculation, though, as I didn't see the call.
Unless maybe it might have been a traveling violation. I don't see a foul up on the scoreboard on White. Wide open drive, and Williman wanted the foul. He didn't get it. He got the hoop.
Williman did get hit in the head a little bit there as the defender was coming down trying to block it and missed the ball. Could have been an and one, but still good points for Williman, keeping this a tight game.
So Hanover still up 3. Had a 5-point lead at the half, down to 3 in the first 2 minutes here. Nice drive. No contesting, and then the offensive rebound pulled down. Brennan, no good. White inside, gets it back himself, and they're going to call the offensive foul, a little elbow by White. So that's going to be White's first foul, team's second of the second half. He gets the rebound nicely, and then just trying to do a little too much.
I mean,
it was a tight one.
It seemed a little iffy to me, but
you know, I think these refs want to make sure they call it close, and so this type of game, rivalry game, doesn't get out of hand.
Yeah, that is likely. Emotions certainly can flare up with these two teams playing each other from time to time. So
you might see that in the second half, as we see the call there, going to go against Gantrish, I believe. Gantrish with his second, team's third. Falzerano gets it into Stone. He'll get it over and can't quite get it to Smith. It's taken away.
Yeah, that was a very forced pass right there. Obviously, Hanover with their heads-up defense isn't going to let that happen.
Pikus was trying to free himself from the defender. Instead, he'll take the deep 3. A little strong there, and rebound to Rainey.
Pikus truly believes he has limitless range, I can tell you that.
That was the heat check one that he didn't take the time before. No foul call there, and nice drive, and the hoop from Smith.
Yeah, that was some great dribbling there to get around the defenders and get a nice little floater.
Gantrish with a pull-up little jumper, no good. Rebound to Rainey, and the Raiders with a chance to take the lead here. Rainey will be fouled on the floor.
These fouls are really keeping this Lebanon team in the game so far.
The YCN scoreboard sponsor is LaValle Building Supply, home improvement and construction from concept to completion. LaValle's would like to thank all their neighbors for shopping with them. Come on in and meet their team. Customer care is their first priority. Yeah, Lebanon really, as we mentioned, has been to the line, but they've also gotten a lot. I mean, that's Hanover's 4th foul already in this half. No fouls for Lebanon as the big 3 from Smith.
Smith heating up with 5 points in the last 2 possessions.
He's got 10 for the game, and Lebanon back in the lead, 32-30. Have not had much of the lead this game. Erased a 5-point halftime deficit, and a sloppy pass inside. Nobody can handle it. It's going to be a jump ball.
Yeah, Pikus wanted to get it into White on the inside, which is a good thought, but he passed that one way too low. It was down around his knees, and White couldn't get down there. And
then you saw Falzerano jumping in on the scrum.
Fortunately, they still have possession.
Timeout on the floor, 32-30 is the 32nd timeout. Our next live YCN game of the week is Friday at 7 p.m. as we cross the river into Vermont for a matchup between the Cosmos of Springfield visiting the Hurricanes of Hartford. All our games are replayed Sunday at noon and anytime at YCNnow.com. Of course, our game following this one tonight will be the Lady Raiders and Lady Marauders, which should be a very exciting matchup. Hanover girls undefeated as well. And the Raiders, I believe, with a couple losses, so that should be a fun one, and the crowd will be just as packed.
Anytime you hear Hanover versus Lebanon in any sport, it's going to be packed and it's going to be heated. So it's a great rivalry, and we're lucky to get to watch it.
There's White, and he uses his strength to just go up and muscle the defender. He's got 8 points.
Yeah, you said it. I mean, just muscle through. I mean, he was certainly covered. He wasn't open by any means. He goes up and gets it and just uses his size and athleticism to get it up over and get the 2.
Tied up 32 apiece, 3:58 to play here in the third quarter. Lebanon looking to take the lead back. There's a 5-point deficit at half. 3-point attempt there, and just off the mark, Smith doesn't get it to fall.
Yeah, it was good ball movement. It looked almost like a set play, like they were looking to get Smith an open 3, and that's exactly what they got. He just didn't hit it.
Good defensive effort there from Rainey to knock the ball away. Nothing easy here, and Pikus will inbound. Good defense. Falzerano challenging Adams. Looking to get it into White, and they do get it to White, but he doesn't have an option, so he gets it back to Pikus, and he tries the fall away three-pointer, no good.
Yeah, a little bit off balance there for Pikus. Not quite that nice set shot we've seen earlier.
Williman wanted a foul, he didn't get it. Here comes Pikus. No good. White's in there. Looks like maybe he got the rebound, and then the foul was going to go against Lebanon. I believe that will be the call. They'll say White had the rebound, and the foul goes against Caleb Smith. He now has 4 fouls, and he's going to have to sit down.
That's a big loss for Lebanon here, probably for some significant minutes as well.
Yeah, and Caleb Smith with 10 points so far.
And he started to get hot here in this third quarter with, at least 5, right?
Yes, he did. He had 5 at the half. He scored 5 so far. You'd imagine he'd sit down for at least the rest of this third quarter and well into the fourth. Tipped away, Falzerano. Adams and Falzerano. Playful, but the ref is right there to make sure that's all it is. Galbraith checks out. Here's White. All the way across the court. Pikus wants the clear out. He wants the screen. He gets it. Driving baseline, kicking back out to Gantrish. Three-pointer is good.
Yeah, Gantrish, great job hitting that shot, but a nice play by Pikus. Lebanon was really focused on the Pikus-White combination as we get the old stuck ball and the rim trick.
And it's going to stay with the Raiders as they will have the possession arrow. Yeah, that last offensive possession, very nicely done, as we see Pikus able to get that away. That last offensive possession, you really had a lot of options. Pikus either can give it to White after the screen, dump it down low, or he can drive, which he did, and then he doesn't have an opening, so he kicks it back out to Gantrish. A nice play there that they ran, and they were successful.
Well, I mean, if you're the defense, you're definitely going to collapse toward those two.
Right.
So you're going to have somebody open on the perimeter somewhere, and as long as you have confidence in those guys to actually take the shots and hit those threes, you're going to have a successful offense. Tough foul there.
Yeah, that was a hard foul. And I believe that's going to be against Pikus, and that is his 4th foul of the night, and he knew it immediately walking over to the bench, and that is not
not
a smart
certainly
foul.
not somebody you want to lose. It looked like Pikus kind of just tried to cut off the screen a little too close and tangled his feet up there. And
Coach Winslow's going to leave him in.
Yeah, that's a gutsy call. If I'm Lebanon, I'm going toward Pikus as hard as I can right now.
And as we see there, that's what they did. Hansen drove in. Obviously, Pikus pulled away, but that's what happens.
Yeah, you're not going to see much defense from Pikus from here on out. He's an offensive player.
He's going to try and do it on the offensive side. Nice little swing to Adams, and the three-pointer is good.
That's why you don't want to take Pikus out. I mean, he really creates a lot for this offense, but it's going to be more costly if they lose him.
Williman with the drive. He's got 9. Three-pointer, no good, and then White comes down 2 defenders. He goes up with it, and this time it's Rainey on the rebound. Nice little touch pass, and the basket from Bates.
Yeah, that was a beautiful pass by Hansen there. From that second he got it, just one touch.
As we see here, nice little pass, touch.
I mean, how do you defend against that? You can't. I mean, that is a perfect pass. Beautifully done on the fast break.
And as we come back to live action, it looks like it's Adams who's getting fouled, and he'll go to the free throw line for a pair.
Looking for their, first free throw of the
Yes,
night?
first free throw of the night. Jai White, the only member of the Marauders squad to get to the free throw line. And this one is up and good. A nice night from Charlie Adams continues. He's got 13. 9 at the half. He's hit a three-pointer, and now the free throw here. Lead up to 1, and the second free throw is good. He's got 2, 40-38. Two-point lead for the Marauders. Nice little shot there. And I believe that was number 11, Hansen, who's back in the game.
Hansen's had himself a nice little third quarter here. I like what he's doing, both passing, and he's got some points on the board here for him, too.
Yantrish driving into the lane, puts it up, no good. White tipping it away, but the Raiders come up with it. And a little off balance there, saving it, and Pikus ends up with it. Tipped away, there's Hansen. Trying to go on the break, a little bit ahead of the Raider player, and then the nice give and go, and that's Williman for 2.
Getting some field goals to go in the hoop. They really struggled in the first half, but they're hitting shots here in the third, and as a result, they have the lead.
Yeah, took a 5-point deficit into a 2-point lead. Here's the Marauders. Pikus, 5 seconds to play. He's trying to challenge his defender, and Adams does get it off, but it's off the mark and no good. That's where we leave it at the end of the third quarter here. The Raiders with a 42-40 lead over the Marauders. You're watching the YCN Game of the Week.
At H.R. Clough and Kearsarge Heating, we sell, install, tune, and repair heating and cooling systems and deliver your fuel oil and propane. But we're much more, with more frequent major weather events. Don't say again, I should have installed a generator. H.R. Clough provides the best home generator systems available from Generac. Our highly trained personnel provide you a complete turnkey installation. For a free estimate, call the H.R. Clough Company today. Over 4 generations of local ownership and dependable service.
There's a big difference between a big box store and a LaValle Middleton building supply.
When you're a local store, you need to compete with the bigger chains. So we've combined our purchasing power with over 300 independent lumberyard and home centers, and we've passed those savings on to you.
Our customers have grown up with our stores, and now their kids are shopping here with our kids.
We have everything you need for any home improvement project you can think of.
And the possibilities are endless.
If we had a motto, it would be neighbors helping neighbors build a community.
Stay tuned at the end of our telecast for the H.R. Clough Kearsarge Heating Turning Up the Heat Player of the Game. We will choose the team member that had the greatest impact on today's game. H.R. Clough is dedicated to performing the best service and providing the best products every day. Well, buckle up. Final 8 minutes of regulation here. And this could be interesting. 42-40. It's been really Hanover in a lot of control, a lot of ways, but Lebanon has hung around. And now with a 2-point lead, looking for more.
Yeah, it's another tough pass to White down by his ankles. And, they need to get him the ball high. He can out-leap anybody on that Lebanon team.
Going to the hole was Williman. He was fouled, but it's going to be on the floor. So that is the 6th foul on the Marauders. That foul goes against Gantrish, his 3rd. Next foul will put Lebanon at the free throw line. Not going to get one there. Williman ends up with it, but it's going to be fouled. And Williman go to the free throw line.
Tough break for Hanover there. They haven't had many breaks go their way as far as the calls go. The shooter went up and lost the ball and then kind of has 3 guys reaching at him, and he just kind of flails his arms around a little bit and gets a call. It's a tough one for the defense.
So that foul was on White, the 7th team foul, 1-1. Williman is 2 for 2 from the line tonight. First one is up and good. 43-40, 3-point lead for the Raiders. Williman, 3 for 3, and that'll make it 4 for 4 from the free throw line. 13 points. He leads Lebanon in the points. Pike is still out there with the 4 fouls. That one's tipped away by Hansen. I'm talking to Pikus and Hansen. They're going to start calling this one tight. They don't need anything to get out of control. White in the corner. We don't see him out there too much. 3-pointer flies, no good, and that's going to be...
Yeah, I don't think that's good spacing there. I don't want White getting the ball out there. He's not a great shooter. We've seen he can't hit free throws very well. They need to get him the ball inside. He needs to stay inside.
Timeout on the floor. We'll keep it right here. 7:12 to play. Today's game is being brought to you in part by Ramonto's Brick Oven Pizza. You're never too far from great food and good times at Ramonto's, the locally owned restaurants that make freshness taste so good.
Yeah,
44-40. Go ahead.
Back to what I was saying about White. I mean, that's like 3 or 4 times now I've noticed here in the second half alone that he's getting the ball just too far away from the basket, and there's nothing he can do with it at that point. He could try to pass it, but he doesn't seem like the best ball handler or outside shooter. They need to work him in on the block there and try to get some post-ups with him.
He's doing a good job inside. As you mentioned, he does have 8 points.
They're all points he creates himself, though, via offensive rebounds, just doing hard work down low.
And then 14 points for Charlie Adams, 11 points for Pikus, and 7 for Gantrish. My math is correct. There's only 4 scorers for the Hanover Marauders. Drive, and we'll get it stuck again.
Something wrong with that hoop over there.
It is a little too big. Keeps getting stuck between the backboard, but that one will be a foul, so we won't have to go to the possession arrow. And that's Bates shooting a pair. 8th foul against the Marauders. And that is the 4th foul on Brennan. So now Brennan's in foul trouble. And Pikus.
A lot of fouls called in this game so far. I mean, you kind of expect it with a big rivalry game like this. You don't want to, not let things get out of control. But at the same time, it's almost a playoff atmosphere. So you almost want to let them play a little bit.
And a lot of those fouls, as we mentioned, called against the Marauders. Here's White trying to go to work.
The Marauders have certainly not had the benefit of the reffing so far.
White, and that one is blocked, but they're going to call a foul on Stone, I believe, is going to get called for the foul there.
Now that one looked like a clean block to me. I mean, I was just saying that it looks like the Marauders are getting the short end of the stick when it comes to reffing, but I thought White was blocked clean there.
So White back to the free throw line. And there we go, he's 1 for 3 from the line. Got 9 points. 45-41 our score. 6:43 to play here in the fourth quarter. White, only a sophomore.
And that's the crazy thing. I mean, this kid is a very good basketball player, and he's only a sophomore. He's one of the better players on the court with two excellent teams around him. So still a lot of room to grow here in the next couple of years for this Hanover team.
Hanover trying to tip that one away, but goes out of bounds. It'll be Lebanon basketball still. Lebanon with a 3-point lead. 45-42. Ozarano calling out the play, looking to get Williman maybe off the screen. Hansen flashing. Ozarano back to Smith. He's got to be careful. He's got 4 fouls. Smith, the deep 3, no good. And they really were trying to get something and just ended up forcing it.
They were looking like they were trying to drive maybe, but the picks outside were all getting kind of stuffed, and they settled. It was an open 3, but it was a deep one. Not exactly what they were looking for.
That one's tipped away, and it'll go back to the Raiders. (45-42). Inside 6 minutes to play here in quarter number 4. Full house.
Yeah, we're getting to crunch time now. Every possession matters, and this is now when you got to really limit offensive rebounds and limit turnovers.
Hansen off the mark there. White with the rebound. Pikus from deep, no good. He's gone cold. Williman with the rebound and then turned it over.
Yeah, I don't love that shot there by Pikus. I mean, they're down 3. I get it, but there's 5:24 left. It seemed kind of like a wasted possession there.
Especially that early in the possession. I mean, obviously there's no shot clock, but at least take some time and see if you can get a better look.
He's a great shooter. I'm all for him shooting a 3. It's just you don't rush one and shoot it from that far out, I don't think.
Hansen gets called for the foul, his first. Team's 4th. Only 4 fouls on the Raiders. 8 fouls on the Marauders. Ozarano playing tight defense. Pikus taking it back to Gantry, still swinging around. Here's Adams. There's White again, taking it outside the 3-point line. Spins. Nice move inside. No foul call there. Offensive rebound kicked out. Adams for 3.
Yeah, and that was Brennan again with the offensive boards. He's played very well down low. I mean, I didn't realize that kid was so good down low. Between him and White, they're a force down there.
Tied up at 45. Gets the Hanover crowd back into it. Hansen kicking it out. Smith looked for it, but he's going to drive instead, and he gets it. He's got 12. Caleb Smith had a quiet night. Had the 5 in the first half, 5 in the third quarter, and he's got 2 more here in the fourth.
He got into that foul trouble, and he had to sit for a while, so it's nice for that offense to see him back out there.
Couldn't handle it. Stone with the loose ball, picks it up ahead to Hansen, and he gets it, going after Brennan. Hansen's got 8. And a timeout on the floor. Hanover wants to talk it over. Full timeout. We'll take a break. 49-45. You're watching the YCN Game of the Week.
Simple solutions in a challenging world. Let Echo Communications make your life simpler. From the beginning, creating design through the commercial print process and ending with custom mailing, all easily coordinated in one place. Echo Communications provides simple solutions in a challenging world. One place, many solutions. Learn more at echocominc.com.
I had broken my humerus. I went home in the care of the VNA, and I met a group of women that I'll never forget. All of them were, in a way, just the most therapeutic and totally understanding people I think I've ever met.
Lake Sunapee Region VNA and Hospice is your locally managed nonprofit home health care provider. It's your choice. Ask for us by name when home is where you want to be.
Welcome back. 3:57 to play in the fourth quarter. Game was tied at 45, and then Lebanon 4 straight to go up by 4. Hanover out of the timeout. See what Coach Winslow has drawn up for this team. They had been really in control for this first half, really. They had a 5-point lead at the half, and then that third quarter was flipped. As a turnover there, it'll go back to the Raiders.
Yeah, it's not something Hanover can afford here with 3.5 minutes left, down 4. You just can't have wasted possessions at this time of the game.
Falzerano over to Smith. He's got 12. 4 guys, actually all 5 guys out wide, and Smith kind of cuts through the lane, but really nothing doing there. Williman taking the ball. He's able to handle the ball once again. They're going to take their time.
Yeah, 4 points are tough to come by in a game like this, right?
No shot clock.
That's a 2-possession game, which is pretty big. I would take my time, just make sure I get a nice shot off, and that's essentially what they did. They're going to get a free throw, but it was a nice drive there, and it was a good foul. White had to do it, but you can see he just turns around and got a pretty clear lane. White had to kind of just go try to block the shot in desperation, but
yeah,
he was way too late.
Gantrish tried to over pursue and tried to steal the ball, and he was caught cheating a little bit. And at the free throw line is Stone.
It only matters though if Stone makes at least one of these free throws here. Otherwise, it'll go down as a defensive stop.
Right, White called for the foul, his third, and that one bouncing around and is good. So
yeah, that's the Lebanon home court bounce right there.
Stone is 2 for 4 from the free throw line. He's got 2 points. 9 fouls on Hanover, so Lebanon will be shooting 2 free throws every time they get to the line, unless it's part of an and one. Here's White inside, triple teamed immediately, kicked out, and that's going to be 3 free throws as Williman is going to get called for the foul on Gantrish.
Yeah, you could see their legs kind of clip there, and he didn't really kick his leg out, so I think that's a good call. He kind of jumped into his airspace. You can't do that. You got to give him a place to land. That rule is created to prevent from breaking ankles.
Yeah, it's a player safety rule, and it's a good one as Gantrish makes the first of 3. He's got 8 points. Second one is up and good, and this is big because these are the ways teams come back, fouling on fouls like that, 3-point attempts, giving them that extra chance. And he sinks all 3.
And they all look good too. Beautiful job there by Gantrish, clearing up the free throws.
Williman's second foul of the game, the 5th by the Raiders. Here's Falzerano in deep, gets it back in the lane, and a little floater is good.
I thought he made a pretty good pass there to begin with, and he ended up getting it back, and it's a little floater.
4-point lead. 2:15 to play here. Every possession so important as we see Adams for 3.
Yeah, Adams wasn't exactly open there, but he didn't hesitate, and he drilled that right in his defender's face. Great shot by Adams. He's got a lot of confidence.
Yeah, he's got 4 threes. 3 2-point field goals and a couple of free throws. Big defensive chant going up here. That shot looked like it might have been partially blocked. Now a 1-point game.
Yeah, that was Gantrish with the defense, and he had some great defense there with his hand in the face of the shooter.
Tipped away. Pikus is able to recover. Kind of a no-look pass into the corner, and Adams, I believe he stepped out.
A little fancy there by Pikus. The no-look pass to the corner is a little bit dangerous there. There's not a lot of room in the corner.
Adams with 20 points, including those 4 threes. And now, as we approach 90 seconds to play in this fourth quarter, Lebanon with a 1-point lead. Any foul, they will be shooting 2 free throws, so you got to keep that in mind. That is huge. No sense really in running a play. Just make sure you don't turn it over. And there's Falzerano, a little strong, fighting for it, and Brennan gets the rebound.
Brennan down low again. I love what he's done this game.
And White And White's going to get called for the offensive foul, or was it just a turnover? I'm not sure what was called.
Yeah, I'm not sure how that could be an offensive foul. The defender was equally out of control, so White would have the...
But I think they're going to just call it was out of bounds. I don't think they're going to call a foul.
I believe it was a no call, yeah.
52-51, final minute to play. Lebanon with the lead by 1 inside a minute. Falzarano, he's going to go to the free throw line for a pair, and this is where those fouls early now hurting Hanover because it's 2 free throws. Falzarano, first time at the free throw line. He's got 4 points tonight.
A huge pressure situation for him here. He could make it a 3-point game with under a minute to go.
52-51, Lebanon on top, and that one rims out. This one's a big one here.
Yeah, very big free throw.
And you've got a couple Lebanon players back, as I believe it's Williman and Rainey. They do not want to allow a fast break. Second free throw is up, and it is good. So the 2-point lead, 53-51. Take a timeout on the floor. You're watching the YCN Game of the Week.
Why is it always time for pizza in New England? Because Ramonto's brick oven pizzas are popping up everywhere. With dough made fresh daily and baked in brick ovens, plus pasta, sandwiches, and artisan salads always from fresh ingredients, you're never far from good times and great food at Ramonto's. Ramonto's Brick Oven Pizzas are the locally owned restaurants that make freshness taste so good. Want a piece of the pie? Visit Ramontos.com for franchise opportunities.
To me, it was a no-brainer to switch to the Anderson 400 series window.
From the exterior of the house, you can't tell which windows are old and which windows are new. They're really very compatible.
I really appreciate the energy efficiency of the 400 series.
Anderson, in my opinion, is the heavyweight champ.
This Lebanon-Hanover game is being brought to you in part by Echo Communications. Call them for all your printing needs. All our schedules and live broadcasts are at our website, ycnnow.com.
We're gonna have ourselves a doozy of a finish here. We truly got a game of the week this time.
Yeah, we do. We're inside 50 seconds. Lebanon leading 53-51. So this possession obviously huge. Hanover trying to tie it or take the lead. Pike has thought about it, but he thought better of it as Falzarano was guarding him closely. 35 seconds to play inside to White.
This is, I thought White might have had a chance there, but...
Gonna go to Gantrish instead, and he gets the hoop, and we've got a tie game.
Clock running, 25 to go.
53-53, 20 seconds to play here. Keith Matty, you can see him in the background calling out the play. Williman will take it himself. Gets it up to Stone. Trying to get it inside. Rainey back to Williman. He's going to take it himself. Kicks it out to Falzarano. Behind the three-point line. Williman can't get a shot off. He does.
Great defense there, but good up.
And that is going to be the end of regulation.
Williman's upset there was no call, but there was some tremendous defense on him. They were anticipating him taking it, and they were all over it.
Would you have it any other way? It's 53-53 at the end of regulation. What a game we have here. And really, it's going to be an exciting finish in this overtime period. We'll take a break. We'll come back with more YCN Game of the Week.
Someone once said that trust is always earned, never given. With a 70-year heritage of diamond expertise, M.J. Harrington Jewelers has earned the trust and respect of loyal customers for generations. Whether the occasion is a new beginning of life together or celebrating a decade's deep love, the professionals at Harrington's take time to understand our customers' dreams, then turn those dreams into exquisite reality. At M.J. Harrington Jewelers, trust is as precious as the fine diamonds we offer. We look forward to earning your trust.
William A. Smith Auction Gallery hosts 45 auctions a year. Our customer base is worldwide, and our reputation is for honesty and fairness. Join us for one of our live auctions. Check out the auction schedule on our website. Auction day is lively and fun.
Sold 3,381. Yeah, sold 253. Sold 850 straight away.
We look forward to seeing you on auction day.
Welcome back. We are set for overtime, and it's been a thriller so far. Hanover with the lead 27-22 at the break, and then a great comeback in that second half, punctuated obviously by Lebanon to take the lead, but then Charlie Adams hits a big three. Gantrish gets a running two, and that's where we find ourselves tied at 53. Jeremy Stout, Scott Quimby here as we start.
It looked like White won the tip, but somehow Lebanon ended up with it, and
there's going to be a foul called, and you could tell as the Hanover defender was fighting for the ball. So Williman, as they don't reset the foul, Williman goes to the free throw line for two, and that's a huge advantage once again for Lebanon.
I mean, Lebanon only has 5 fouls on them so far, so yeah, this is going to be big if Lebanon gets the free throw line and hit them. It's going to be tough.
Williman, 5 for 5 from the free throw line to go along with 9 points from the field, and he misses that one. He's got 14 on the night. 54-53, Hanover trailing by a point with the basketball, chance to take their first lead in this overtime period. We are in overtime, 3:40 to play. They play 4-minute overtime periods. Pikus trying to get it. They do get it to White. He makes his move, and it's tipped away, but White touches it last. Back to the Raiders.
Yeah, we haven't seen White struggle like this down low in the previous games. I mean, Lebanon's doing a great job defensively on him, trying to prevent anything down in the post, and, you know, he's having some trouble.
We've certainly figured it out. There's Williman. He's going to drive but pulls it out, and then back to Smith. He's got a wide open lane, finally takes it, and then the offensive foul on Smith. That's going to be 5 for him.
That was more great defense by Brennan. He went straight up in the air and got run right directly into the chest. I mean, that's a good call.
Yeah, and Smith had a wide open lane, but he just took a half a second to take advantage of it, and then the defender was already there, and he got called for the offensive foul. So that's going to end Caleb Smith's night. He finishes with 12 points and really helped this comeback for the Raiders in that third quarter.
Yeah, I mean, when you turn the corner and the lane's wide open like that, all you see is the rim at that point, and you're just going for it. Somebody slips in there beneath you, and you're not going to see him. You're just so focused on the hoop, and I think that's what happened to Smith there.
White down low, can't get it to fall.
I mean, more great defense by Lebanon. White catches it down low, but he's got 2 guys on him, and actually has a wild shot from just under the hoop.
Stone cross court to Rainey, and then inside over to Balzerano. 54-53. Lebanon, the only point so far in this overtime period. 1 free throw. That ball is tipped away. It'll stay with the Raiders.
I mean, I'm not saying anything against the offense here. This is great defense we've seen so far in overtime. Both teams are hungry and working hard on both ends.
Williman, the only point in this overtime. He made a free throw. He was 1 for 2 from the line. 5 for 6 on the night. We approach 2:30 to play. Rainey dishes it out to the corner. Hansen, little strong, and White comes down with it. Hanover looking for their first basket of this overtime period. They trail 54-53.
Pikus looked like he wanted to get it into White, and they denied the pass.
There's Adams getting his defender on the up fake and the drive. He's got 22 points to lead all scorers.
He's been their secret weapon so far. Everybody's focused so hard on Pikus and White. Can't forget about Adams. Great touch from the field.
Hansen kicking it back out to Rainey. He'll take on Gantrish.
That's the only field goal so far.
Hansen from deep doesn't get it, but Rainey with the rebound, Williman with the basket.
Yeah, Williman just fortunate right there. He gets a wide open rebound right at the free throw line. He gets a nice wide open free throw line jumper and he buries it.
56-55, 90 seconds to play in overtime. Here's Pikus driving the lane. He gets the roll. Hanover with the lead.
Pikus with a nice patient finger roll there. He looked like he was maybe looking to pass to White, and they gave him a little space. He took the shot and hits it.
He's got 13. Raiders trail by a point. Tight defense here from the Marauders. They're not going to let anything go. Williman can't get anything, so he kicks it back out to Hansen. We're inside a minute. Trying to get it inside, and White comes up with the steal. He fronted Stone, pulls away.
He's struggled offensively a bit at times tonight, but he hasn't let that bother his defense. He's playing great defense all night, rebounding the basketball, and they call a timeout, up a point, looking for a good shot.
Yeah, and here's where you get, we'll keep it right here. Here's where you get to Keith Maddie's decision. 6 fouls, so your next one is going to put Hanover at the line 1-1. You don't want to foul too early, but there's no shot clock, so you're going to most likely have to foul. How long do you let them try and get a steal before you go to the free throw line?
Well, with a 1-point game, 44 seconds left, I mean, I'm giving them a good 20 seconds, to be honest. I mean, there's no sense, even if they get a 2, it's still a one-possession game.
Yep.
There's no sense of giving them free points here until you need to.
Right, and as we look at the free throw situation, Nolan Gantrish, 3 for 3. Charlie Adams, 2 for 2, and Jai White, 2 for 4. So they have not gotten to the line too often, but when they do, they've hit them pretty nicely. So
I mean, that's another reason not to foul them, right? I mean, they have good free throw shooters on the floor.
Right, so you go for, I agree with you, you go for that 24 seconds or whatever it may be. Try and come up with a turnover. And you're right, if you do give up a 3, then or a 2, you're down 3, and I mean that is the other thing. You really got to deny that 3-point line because you cannot give up a 3 at Pikus.
Absolutely, you cannot give up a 3-point
or anybody
whatsoever. You don't want it to be a 2-possession game. As long as you keep it to 1 possession, though, there's no sense of panicking for Lebanon.
Pikus inbounds it into the backcourt. Gantrish hands it off to Adams. 40 seconds to play. Adams will be guarded by Falzarano at the top of the key. Not going to let him get anything. Pikus back to Adams. 30 seconds. Hanover with a 1-point lead. Too far, says the ref. Not set to call the 5 seconds. Hansen trying to guard Adams, and he finally pulls his jersey, so didn't have a chance at any type of steal.
Yeah, I mean, enough time went by. Now they're at 17.8 seconds, so Lebanon was clearing Hanover was clearing off a lot of time off the clock there, and Lebanon eventually had to do something.
17.8 seconds left, timeout on the floor. Keith Maddie wants to talk it over. We'll take a break. You're watching the YCN Game of the Week.
So was there...
Warner's Main Street Bookends has been your community bookstore since 1998 and voted Yankee Magazine's Editor's Pick Must-See Bookstore. Bookends is a full-service store offering a huge selection of current fiction and nonfiction with children's book selection, toys, and games. Bookends has a huge card selection for all occasions, along with Main Street Marketplace and Gallery in the attached barn. 100% solar, Main Street Bookends of Warner is building your community one book at a time.
Welcome back. Jeremy Stout, Scott Quimby here. 17.8 seconds to go in overtime. The Lebanon Raiders and the Hanover Marauders locked in a tight one. They were tied at 53 at the end of the 4th. Here is Charlie Adams shooting 1-1 with a 1-point lead. Looking to give his team a bigger lead, and he misses defensive rebound from Stone. And here we go. Final play. Maddie's going to let it go. Coach Keith Maddie must have drawn up a play, and they get it inside, and just missing is Williman. He'll go to the free throw line, down a point.
Yeah, this is going to be a crazy ending either way here. If he hits one of two, he gets two free throws here. If he gets one, we're tied. If he hits them both, still 8 seconds for Hanover to drive down the court and try something.
Here's Williman. First free throw is up, and we've got a tie game.
That's a clutch free throw by Williman.
He's 6 for 7 from the line. See if he can hit another one to take the lead for the Raiders. 57 apiece. He does hit the second one. They have the 1-point lead, and Coach Keith Maddie wants to talk it over.
Ice water in his veins. Williman, those are huge clutch free throws right there for Lebanon.
So now 30-second timeout. So keep it right here. Only 8 seconds to go. Reset on the game clock is 8 seconds. Score is 58-57. Lebanon with the lead. And Scott, if you are Coach Tim Winslow, what are you drawing up here? Who's getting the ball?
You're only down one. I'm working the ball inside. Maybe you get a foul call. You know, there's no sense of playing the perimeter game and hoping for a prayer three at this point. Work the ball inside, maybe even to White. He's kind of struggled from inside a little bit in this game, but I'm pounding the ball inside. Not only do you have the shot attempt, but you got more likelihood of getting fouled.
And you do have to inbound all the way down underneath the hoop on the baseline, so you don't get the advantage of picking up a couple seconds.
They should have inbounded the ball and drove it down and then call a timeout.
Now we've got the clock running, 5 seconds to go. Here's Adams, he gives it to Pikus for three, and that's the winner! Hank Pikus with the buzzer beater! Pandemonium here as the Hanover crowd is going crazy.
Not exactly what I would have drawn.
Simple solutions in a challenging world.
Still time. It seemed like maybe he rushed it, but we look at him. He's got a hand in his face and everything, but Pikus, as we know, has limitless range, and he hits a buzzer beater in overtime.
And that was the play that they drew up. I just think it was not supposed to be that deep because you saw Charlie Adams with the ball. He was running up the sideline with Pikus trailing him. He was going to try and take the drive if he had an opportunity. If he didn't have the opportunity, Pikus was right behind him. And as you saw in that replay, Pikus takes the ball, and I think you're right, he thought there wasn't as much time left, so he just threw it up, almost a prayer.
There was no hesitation whatsoever. I mean, he had good form on the shot. It wasn't like an off-balance shot. He was set and ready for it. But certainly way behind the three-point line. That was a deep three. I mean, he's probably 6-7 feet behind the line, and boy, did he drill it.
And you got to imagine that what was said in the timeout was Coach Tim Winslow said, when Adams tosses you the ball, there's not going to be much time left, so you've got to be ready to shoot it. Now, of course, he threw it.
No matter what season.
He kind of shot it right when he got the ball, which he might not look at. So look at this. You got 3 seconds up on the clock. You can see.
Look how far back he is behind the three-point line.
6 feet behind the three-point line, and he still hits back iron and knocks it in. I mean, that was just unbelievable, and Hanover remains undefeated. They improved to 12-0 and the first regular season victory in 16 tries against the Raiders. So the final score here, 60-58. We'll take a break and come back and break it all down. You're watching the YCN Game of the Week.
William A. Smith Auction Gallery hosts 45 auctions a year. Our customer base is worldwide, and our reputation is for honesty and fairness.
Right there, $5,000, $3,000. I got two there, thank you. 20.
Join us for one of our live auctions. Check out the auction schedule on our website. Auction day is lively and fun.
Sold $3,381. Yeah, sold $253. Sold $850 straight away.
We look forward to seeing you on auction day.
At H.R. Clough and Kearsarge Heating, we sell, install, tune, and repair heating and cooling systems and deliver your fuel oil and propane. But we're much more. H.R. Clough installs water conditioning systems to purify your water and add life to your hot water heating system. Now is the perfect time for one of our expert staff to evaluate your needs. For a free estimate, call H.R. Clough today. Over 4 generations of local ownership and dependable service.
There once was a haunted house. People said they had heard voices, but no one dared to go inside.
There's a place for wood in your backyard. We recommend the Fire Pit. For looks and performance that outlast a wooden deck, make sure your next deck is built with Trex, the world's #1 premium decking brand.
Trex products are available at LaValley Middleton Building Supply. Visit us at lavalleys.com.
I had broken my humerus. I went home in the care of the VNA, and I met a group of women that I'll never forget. All of them were, in a way, just the most therapeutic and totally understanding people I think I've ever met.
Lake Sunapee Region VNA and Hospice is your locally managed nonprofit home health care provider. It's your choice. Ask for us by name when home is where you want to be.
And as you see it here, the game winner from Hank Pikus. What a shot. What a comeback on that last possession, down 58-57. They hit the three to win it 60-58. Scott, I think it's time for our H.R. Clough, Kearsarge Heating, turning up the heat player of the game. If we can get to that one. It was going to be a tough one, but after that shot.
There was one point I was saying to myself, if Lebanon wins this game, Charles Adams is going to be the player of the game. He had an excellent game. He had great shooting from inside, outside, free throw line. Heck of a game for Charles Adams. How can you not give him? He had the dagger. How can you not give him the player of the game? Heck of a game. He had 16 points himself. He also had a lot of assists, kind of running the offense there. Tremendous finish to this game. And you feel bad for Lebanon. They really hung in there, and especially Williman, like he had those two clutch free throws there at the end of the game. He put the Raiders up a point with 8 seconds to go, and tough loss for Lebanon, but boy, 12-0 now for Hanover. They are rolling.
So the final numbers, Nolan Gantrish finishes with 12. Charlie Adams, as you mentioned, he had a big night, 22 points. Jai White with 10. And Hank Pikus, the 16, including that three-pointer game winner. They improved to 12-0. And for the Raiders, Jackson Stone with 2. Calvin Bates with 10. Logan Falzarano with 5. Karsten Hansen with 8. John Williman with 18. Wade Rainey with 3. And Caleb Smith with 12. They fall to 8-2. And as we talked about, the road ahead for Hanover, they will host Stevens this week on Wednesday. Then they travel to Hollis Brookline on Friday. That's going to be one of the tough ones to end their season before they host Kennett, at Conval, at Pelham, and then host Lebanon to end the season. So they have a tough road, but at least they know they're 12-0.
Boy, that rematch against Lebanon is going to be some fun, I tell you. We had a heck of a game tonight. We expected a close, hard-fought game, and to win on a buzzer beater in overtime, I mean, it doesn't get better than that.
That was exciting, and as we mentioned, the Raiders falling to 8-2. They travel down 89 to North Sutton, New Hampshire. They go to Kearsarge on Wednesday, and then next week, Pelham before they go to Laconia and Milford. Cole Brown and Sanborn at home. That Hollis Brookline game, March 2nd, we'll be there for that one.
So for Lebanon specifically, they fall to 8-2. They're going to be careful now. They're worrying about home court advantage in the playoffs at this point. With the top of the standings so stacked. So many good teams this year.
And then, as you mentioned, that last game against Hanover, they're going to be traveling up the road into a hostile crowd. You know it's going to be a tough one. So the Raiders sit at 8-2. And as you see, the Lady Raiders warming up. They'll be completing the nightcap of this doubleheader shortly, and they'll be playing also Hanover. Both those teams coming into this one looking very nice as well. And I believe the standings here, Hanover 11-0 and Lebanon 10-2. So we got another one lined up.
Yeah,
should be a good one.
I mean, both teams it's just like the men's teams.
Should be.
The ladies certainly both at the top of the standings and competing for top seed in the playoffs, and Hanover, both teams are just killing it this year, and I'm sure that finish we just saw is going to be a nice little boost for this women's team here.
That's true. They'll look to remain undefeated next. So we'll take a break and come back, preview that women's game a little more for game number 2 of our YCN doubleheader.